Hi, this is Graceful Guidance, and I am doing a quick collective reading, or maybe it'll be like a pick a card. I'm actually inclined to use the Hoodoo Tarot Deck um, today. It says it's a 78 card tarot deck and book for root workers by Tayana Lee McQuiller. And originally, I did not want to use this deck to do readings because I am new to learning and understanding hoodoo, and I'm very interested in it. However, I there's like a lot that's just to learn. So I wanted to make sure that I was respecting my ancestors by learning a little bit more. But I've just been in a place myself where I've wanted to just there's just I need more. I need to understand more. I'm trying to figure out what's going on in my life, and even in terms of doing readings. And I thought, what better way, if I'm experiencing this, and if it's possible that the collective is experiencing this energy as well, and that maybe someone can benefit from hearing a message. So what I'm going to do is I am going to create piles, and the first pile is going to be the sage pile, which is essential oil, sage essential oil. The second pile is going to be this blue pen, right? Blue big pen. The third pile is actually going to be, I didn't even plan this out, but I'm doing it as I'm looking around my room right now, and my niece left me a pair of sunglasses, Mackenzie. So I'm going to use this third pile, sunglasses, and then the fourth pile is going to be this seashell. Okay, so I'm going to do four piles. Um, Actually, the fifth pile is going to be this quarter here. So I'm going to do five piles. Five is the number of change, and change is definitely coming. I'm going to post this reading, but if anyone is getting this reading at a certain time, or at when I post it, it's May 1st, 2022. And I got a really interesting message yesterday when I pulled one of these cards. And so May 1st has some kind of significance. This is a solar eclipse, new moon in Taurus, lots of interesting things. I think Pluto retrograde. There's a lot happening with the planets and just in life and in general. So I'm just going for it. So let's do it, and let's see where this takes us. So pile one is essential oil sage. Pile two is this Bic pen. Pile three are these sunglasses. Um, Pile four is the seashell. And pile number five is going to be this quarter. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm only going to pull one card from the Hoodoo Tarot deck, and I am going to read I'm going to read that card to you. If I feel inclined to give more information, then I will. Or ask for more information or ask for clarifiers, I will. But I think that there are messages inside of each of these cards, and they're very powerful. And I think that if you practice hoodoo, if you happen to come on this page, if you want to understand it more, if you just are inclined to listen, then listen. And hopefully there's a message for you, and that you are blessed with some kind of information and some clarity, because I have been searching for clarity, and my prayer is that I receive it. So let's begin. Okay, so I'm going to put this to the side just like that. If you chose pile number one, I'm going to write down the time, sage, then this message is for you. Okay, so I'm going to ring this bell to call in our benevolent ancestors and spirit guides and angels into this space. And we're going to ask for messages of clarity. I'm drawing a sacred circle around me of protection and light, and I'm asking for the highest wisdom, truth, and clarity surrounding anything that pile number one needs to know and needs to understand, that's going to bring them more clarity or wisdom about something that's happening in their life or something that they need to know and understand. What does pile number one need to know? Let's cut the deck. Okay, pile number one, you got the Ace of Baskets. Hope you can see that well enough. The Ace of Baskets is actually the Ace of Cups in traditional tarot, but I'm going to stop there because I want to read this card to you first, because that is the intention, that there's going to be a message here. So for pile number one, Ace of Baskets, your plant is wild lettuce, right? Which is, I've never heard of wild lettuce, but that's your plant. The image is a basket overflowing with water. It sits atop a lotus stone, and lotus stones are used in hoodoo to attract love and prosperity. The meaning on the positive side is compassion, emotional renewal, having a sense of peace, falling in love, conception, new relationships, happiness, messages in water, abundance, empaths, intuition, feeling refreshed, spiritual people, and healing old wounds. The negative side, or the other side of this card, is suppressed feelings, unrequited love, being overly emotional, miscarriage, and bad breakups. So pile number one, that, you know, when I think of the Ace of Cups or the Ace of Baskets, I think of new love, I think of renewal, I think of all of those things. I'm also going to just, when I think about sage, sage is usually used for clearing, just in general, to my knowledge. In hoodoo, I'm not sure if there's a different meaning, but I wonder if pile number one, you are being asked to clear some energy, or if you are working on clearing some energy, and perhaps there is, if you're trying to attract love and prosperity, then it's either saying that you will once you clear your energy, or you have already, and that it's coming and it's new, but it has a lot to do with renewal, right? And being peaceful, and I mean, this is ultimate clarity, right? I'm gonna pull another card to clarify this Ace of Cups, pile number one, and I'm reading them a little differently. Usually I just read the cards based on what I see, but in this case I'm really using and leaning on the book to clarify, because I want the messages just to be specific. So anything that you hear in this particular reading, words are supposed to stick out to you, and any plants, whatever it is you get, that's going to be your message, okay? And pile number one, your clarifier is the grandchildren, which is beautiful. I got this card yesterday. And this is number 17. And traditionally, it's the star card. And this is a major arcana if you know anything about tarot. So that's wonderful. I'm going to read that. This is a longer message. And hopefully, I don't know if grandchildren stands out to you. I don't know if the star stands out to you. I know that the star card is usually about hope, and grandchildren are usually about hope. And I got this card yesterday. So the grandchildren is a star card, and they give you a Bible verse. So it doesn't matter whether or not you believe. This is the Hoodoo tradition. I'm going to read it because my intention is that you hear or listen out for any messages that might stick out to you, that makes sense, or that rings a bell for whatever your question is or whatever you're trying to receive clarity on. So early the next morning, Laban, I think it's Laban, Laban, kissed his grandchildren and his daughters and blessed them. Then he left and returned home. Genesis 31:55. The plant for this particular card is scarlet rose mallow. And the image, this is a little longer, so bear with me. A grandparent cups the child's hand, tiny hands, and the child holds a star-shaped flower. Since time immemorial, humans have been fascinated by the stars, not only because they're beautiful, but also because they represent our highest goals, dreams, and aspirations. In Black American families, the star would be analogous, I don't know if I'm saying that word right, analogous to one's grandchildren, as the ultimate symbol of hope. After centuries of terrorism, psychological warfare, enslavement, and oppression legislation, every elder prays that their progeny, I don't know why I can't say these words, but progeny will not only survive, but will also finally be allowed to thrive. They hope that they will not have to beg or ask permission to exist and will finally be able to live their lives on their own terms. It is on the grandchildren that wishes are earnestly placed. The meaning of this card says, when the grandchildren appear in a reading, it's a sign that relief from any stress, negativity, or despair is on its way. If there's no sign of hope evident in your life yet, just be patient and you will soon see the proof that things are looking up. Blessings shall abound! Exclamation point. If you receive the grandchildren in a reading, consider the following. So these are questions to consider from this Ace of Baskets, well, the grandchildren card, but also keep in mind this Ace of Baskets because this is a major arcana. So first question is, do I regularly count my blessings? The second one is, or the second statement is, believing doesn't require proof. What can I do to regain hope? Find a way to become inspired. Give without seeking anything in return. What motivates you to get up in the morning and do it all again? Miracles happen every day. Why can't they happen to you? Perhaps it's time for the old and the young to get together and enjoy each other's company. Blessings are on the way. It might be time to share some words of wisdom with someone younger or less mature. All will turn out right in the end. And that is your message from the grandchildren card. So pile number one, this is such a blessed pile. I hope this is my pile. All of them could be your pile. You can definitely choose as many as you'd like. But in this particular one, I think this is self-explanatory, especially since you got a major arcana. So you might really be in a place where you're being asked to keep the faith, to expect miracles, to expect blessings to pour in, possibly new love. If you're a grandparent, then this is absolutely a message about your grandchildren. If you have grandparents, this is a message about the blessings of your we all have grandparents, but if you are thinking of your grandparents or are close to them, or I mean, this is also to me like an ancestral message, right? Some people don't consider their grandparents ancestors. There's a whole lot of information behind that, but I think that this is also saying that you're here to be the blessing you're here, and this is um, a prayer from your grandparents and from your ancestors. So there's a lot of messages there about um, blessings, faith, hope, um, elders, older, younger, new, rejuvenation, and lots of love in this pile. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of clarity, because this feels like such a blessing. You've done a lot of healing, pile number one, and a lot of clearing. And if you haven't done it, you are doing it. It is absolutely happening, and your elders are proud of you, and they're here to hold you, right? These are two hands that are covering the other, and they're here to hold you and protect you and guide you, because there's something so precious in you that is, even if whether you're older or younger, um, that is um, remains to be seen, or maybe you're not able to see that for yourself. Any other messages, Spirit? Anything else that I'm missing that I need to be relaying? Any other information that needs to be relayed to pile number one? I'm just sitting for a second and breathing and hoping that all the messages that needed to come through have come through. Let me just turn this around and check it out. It just feels like abundant blessings. The number 17 might be significant to you. The number 1 might be significant. And then 1 plus 7 is 8. So the number 8 might be significant to you. And that's it. So thank you, pile one. I hope that this was helpful. I hope that this was something that can help to give you some clarity about whatever your question is, whatever you're thinking of, whatever's coming up for you. I hope that you have a little more clarity now than you did um, 15 minutes ago. Okay, thank you so much, pile one, and have a wonderful day. Okay. So if you chose, I'm actually using the pen that I'm writing with, which is funny. So if you chose pile number 2, you chose the blue pen, then you're up next, right? So I'm going to ring the bell to clear the energy. And if you chose pile number 2, welcome to your reading. As I said in the beginning, if you didn't hear it, I'm here to do a message, or to provide a message from the Hoodoo Tarot Deck, which I don't love to use. Not that I don't love to use. I want to use this deck with such reverence, and I'm not, it says it's a tarot deck for root workers, and I bought it and I'm still understanding it. And I've been using this deck myself. Yesterday, I used it yesterday, and it gave me some really powerful messages. So I'm going to do this reading a little differently. And what I mean by that is I'm going to pull one card from the deck. I'm going to read the card. And if that message doesn't feel like, if I feel like I need to get more information, I'm going to pull one more card and I'm going to read from the book that specific card. And then we'll take it from there. So these are shorter, sweeter messages, short and sweet messages. And some of them aren't so sweet. That's what I like about this deck. It's one of those things where, to me, it hits the mark. And if it's a message for you, you'll know. And we'll see. So pile number 1 was such a beautiful pile. So these are messages of clarity that you may need, and hopefully you'll get some real clarity about your situation, whatever that may be. So you chose the pen, so this could have something to do with needing to write. This could have something to do with communication, business. 2 cards just jumped. I'm not going to take those. I'm going to just look at them and see if they come out again. Wow. Okay. just so you know, you got the Queen, Mother of Knives, Queen of Swords, Aunt Caroline, which is the Wheel of Fortune, and the grandchildren, which came out, which is a star card, and that came out in pile number one. So I'm gonna pull these cards with my hands unless they just jump out again, then I might just take whatever jumps out. But I really just wanted one card with one message, and then I'm going to provide some more uh, information as I see fit. Okay, so pile number two. What does pile number two, the pen, need to hear, need to know, need to understand? From our spirit guides, angels, ancestors, the benevolent spirit team. What do you need? What do we need to know? Okay. Whoa. I'm actually going to take that. I am actually going to take that. So, okay. This is your card, pile two. Nine of Sticks. Which is the Nine of Wands in traditional tarot, but this isn't necessarily traditional just yet, right? So I want you to see that, and I'm going to read from the book in just a second. Nine of Sticks, Nine of Wands. So let's see where your message is. Pile number two. All right, if you chose pile number two, here we go. Your plant is pepper. The image is an oppressed woman has finally decided that enough is enough. She protects herself with a mojo bag, a Bible, and a pistol. The skull top sticks represent the ancestors who have been waiting for her to make a move and are willing to provide assistance. Wow. The positive meaning of this card is defending yourself, a test of faith, perseverance. And pile number two, I want you to listen. I didn't say this before. Listen for words, themes, anything that pops into your mind that is making you say, wow, this is my message, because that's the intention, right? So okay, I'll start that over. The positive is defending yourself, a test of faith, perseverance, being prepared, a fight to the death, willpower, resilience, guarding your boundaries, and an attitude of, in quotes, would rather do than die. The negative side of this card is a defeatist attitude, paranoia, refusing to compromise, having no backbone, and getting hurt as a result of trusting the wrong people. Okay, pile number two. That's very, very self-explanatory. And I wonder if there is, I mean, that message seems very clear. So maybe you're in a place, and I'm not going to do massive interpretation in this particular reading because I feel like these cards kind of speak for themselves. Um, and they're similar but somewhat different than traditional tarot. Like they have some different meanings, but you may be in a place where you or someone that you know is in a place of um, needing to, or finally deciding that you are going to take control of a situation, defend yourself, and not allow yourself to be um, defeated, right? This is talking about being oppressed and then saying, nope, I'm going to protect myself and protect what I believe in. And I'm going to pull a clarifier, although I said I might not, but I think I definitely want to pull one so we could get some more information to see if there's anything here. Because I guess the advice or the clarity would be that your spirit team and your ancestors want you to stand up for yourself. And either you're in a place where you are or you have, and they're saying, finally, that's what we've been trying to get you to do. So let's see. Let's clarify this Nine of Sticks. Eight of Sticks. So Nine of Wands, Eight of Wands. All right, the Eight of Sticks says, Okay, the plant is poplar. The image is a hoodoo woman peeling wood from a tree just struck by lightning. It is believed that lightning struck wood amplifies the potency of any working. The positive meaning is rapid progress forward, communication, forward movement, communication, finding a resolution, excitement, whirlwind romances, gaining momentum, receiving a critical message, eye-opening experiences, being in alignment, ending of delays, travel by air, and successful journeys. The negative side is a serious emergency, wasted energy, being too pushy, reckless behavior, transportation faltering, leaping before looking, unexpected breakups, extreme frustration, high pressure situations, hasty decisions, ideas that are way out there, hysteria, and failure to recognize signs and warnings. So, any of those words stick out to you? Leave a comment, but um, right away, I'm feeling like if you have been tolerating something in your life and you've been getting so many messages to shift it and change it and stick up for yourself, this is saying, it almost feels like a warning, honestly. It feels like, um, do it. You have to do it. It feels like that because when I'm reading from the Eight of Sticks, it says, eye-opening experiences, being in alignment, ending of delays. And I feel like this card was talking more about enough is enough, right? And so when you finally stick up for yourself and make a decision and protect yourself and, um, you know, use your willpower and guard yourself, you'll make a lot of progress and you will be successful in it. So usually the Eight of Wands comes before the Nine of Wands, but in this case, this is like a this is saying things are going to move quickly when you start um, demonstrating resilience and protecting yourself and not accepting anything, right? That is oppressive. That feels very, very clear to me. Um, I don't think that there's anything else that needs to be said there. I'm going to hold this card up so that you can see it as clear as possible. And I hope that this was helpful to you, right? I hope that this makes sense because it makes a lot of sense to me and it also resonates with me in a lot of ways too. So that is, I think that was a little shorter than the last one. That is your message, pile number 2. I hope that that was helpful, and I hope that it makes sense. And I hope that you check out my other readings if you feel inclined. Okay. Thank you so much. Have a good day, pile 2, and good luck with whatever it is you need to move out of. Okay, pile number 3. If you chose pile number 3, if you chose these green sunglasses, these are my niece's sunglasses. She left them here. She's such a little cutie pie. Um, and with me in my house. So we are going to choose from the Hoodoo Tarot Deck. If you didn't listen to the first beginning part, I'm doing something different. This is the Hoodoo Tarot Deck that I'm using, and it's a tarot deck for root workers. I am not a root worker. I don't know if I will ever get into that, but I do believe in root work, if that makes any sense. But beyond that, I haven't used this deck often because I want to use it with such reverence and understanding, but I've been inclined to use this deck because there has been a lot happening in my life and I've been wanting some clarity from my spirit team and my ancestors, and I got a lot of clarity yesterday. So today I said, why not share, right? Because I believe that Messages can come in many different forms, and the way I usually read is I shuffle and I read the cards, but I'm going to actually just pick one card and maybe clarify with another, and I'm going to read from the book and we'll take it from there. Okay, so if you chose the sunglasses, this is your reading. Did I ring the bell? I'm ringing the bell to clear the energy and to call in the highest vibration in our benevolent ancestors and spirit team to bring us some messages of clarity. And this is for any question that you might have. This is for anything that you might need to understand about yourself and your situation and your terms. When I pull the card, pile number 3, then I'm going to pull a card, but I'm going to read. I mean, I'm going to do a little interpreting, but I'm going to do more reading. And I want you to listen for words, thoughts, actions, anything. The 7 of coins wanted to come out. This card I just know is casting pearls before swine. I'm just going to say that. And that is like, you know, if you look that up, what that means, then if it comes up again, we'll talk about it, what it means to me, but it's pretty self-explanatory if you know what that phrase is. And then Big Mama wanted to come out, which is the sun. Okay, sunglasses, one message, or for pile number 1. I'm actually going to cut the deck, and I'm going to choose one card, and here we go. Pile 3. You got the 6 of Knives, which is the 6 of Swords in traditional tarot. I'm going to read this entire definition card to you, okay? I didn't say this before, but if you chose the sunglasses, maybe that's a protective thing. Maybe it's seeing things through a lens that is not as clear, or protection. That could be what it's about. But let's see. I am just saying that because you chose glasses. All right. 6 of Knives is the 6 of Swords. The plant is John the Conqueror root. And I want you to listen, pile number 3, for any messages in this as I'm reading. What comes up for you? What pops up in your head? What are you thinking of when you see the card and when you hear me reading this from here? Okay. According to the the plant is John the Conqueror root. According to the short version of the legend, John the Conqueror was an African prince who was captured and enslaved in America. The prince managed to escape and sailed back to Africa, leaving his power behind in the form of John the Conqueror root. This is just a legend, though. John the Conqueror root is actually a native plant of North America. The positive meaning of this card is leaving your troubles behind, moving on, going with the flow, accepting change, a new attitude, travel, distance learning, letting go of people, beliefs, situations you've outgrown, travelers, rites of passage, a much needed change in atmosphere, and relief. The negative side of this card is resistance to change, lethargy, people with a lot of baggage, procrastinators, being stuck in negative thought patterns, feeling melancholy, more troubles ahead, escapism, slow progress, an inability to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and laziness. Wow. So pile number 1, I guess when I think of this card, and I'm just gonna let that sit there, right? When I think of this card, just in general, the escapism part comes up. Maybe you are trying to remove yourself from a situation. Maybe you are trying to, I mean, I think of this as a drama-free card, right? Because 6s are about like harmony over the hump. And it also says something about moving away from leaving troubles behind, right? So maybe you're in a place where change is necessary. You're going through a change. You need to make some changes. The escapism part comes up, which is maybe trying to leave something behind when you really need to face it. But I'm going to do one clarifying card to see if there's anything that comes up that makes any sense with this card, right? Like, so that's one message. Let's see. Clarify the Six of Knives. What does pile 3 need to know and understand? And then also when you put the glasses with it, sometimes the glasses have if you're not able to see things clearly, or you don't want to see things clearly, you don't want to see things a certain way, so you want to leave things behind. That's one message for somebody. But we'll just do one more card. Let's see. Daughter of Sticks, which is traditionally the Page of Wands. I'm going to read this to you as well. That could be a person, um, fire sign, because it's a figure, but I'm going to read Daughter of Sticks and we'll see what we get. Okay, for Daughter of Sticks, the plant is fenugreek and garlic. Okay, plant is fenugreek and garlic. And I'm guessing these are herbs. These are obviously herbs that were used, and this could be something that helps with healing any kind. I'm not a doctor, but these are just things that may stick out to you. So this is not medical advice, but the image is the Daughter of Sticks is rearing up on a horse in order to change directions. The flock of birds above forming, flock of birds above forming an arrow indicate that this is the best course of action. Wow. I just have to say wow because this is about movement. Okay. The meaning is the Daughter of Sticks is all about getting pumped up to get the job done and maintaining that high energy until the very end. On the positive side, she's passionate, determined, bold, free-spirited, charming, revolutionary, self-assured, and loves to travel. And this card was about travel, so that's interesting. On the negative side, she's hot-tempered, abusive, overly competitive, insecure, loud, boisterous, jealous, a show-off, and a habitual procrastinator. In a reading, if she doesn't represent a literal person with these qualities and she represents these attributes. Wow. So there's so many ways to interpret those two cards. It's amazing. Both of these cards did talk about travel and movement. If this is a person, if this is you, these are the positive and not so great aspects of you. A lot of movement, a lot of excitement. The Six of Knives to me is calm, and they're moving out of the heaviness. The Daughter of Sticks is moving, but they're moving with vigor and intensity. Um, and so that is interesting as well. This card on the negative side did talk about laziness, and on the negative side, this talked about um, procrastination. So I don't know if there's one or the other, but it looks like hopefully this is giving you some clarity or something's kind of ringing a bell here. Um, you could be trying to move away from this energy and be a little bit more calm, or move away from someone that embodies this energy. And so that's really interesting. I'm not going to do super duper duper interpretations of these because I really want these cards to speak for themselves. But there's something to do with movement, something to do with travel, possibly, and or something to do with um, determination to get to the other side of something. And I don't know why I want to pull another card for this pile because I feel like this pile may need some advice or something, right? Maybe they're saying, maybe this is advice, but maybe not, right? So let's see. Let's do one more for pile number 3. Let's see advice. Ace of Sticks, Ace of Wands. Let me read that. Ace of Sticks. I just felt like I wanted to know more, and I hope that this was what you wanted to know too. The plant is basil. The hand sticks out of the cloud, clasping a stick. Below the hand is Livonia Mound, the largest of the 10 Indian mounds in Point Coupe Parish, Louisiana. I hope I said that right. There's been a resurgence of interest since the 1980s among occultists in the dozens of Indian mountains and pyramids all over North America. But root workers have long recognized them as power centers. The positive side is new opportunities, optimism, self expression, passion, virility, facing your fears, taking the bull by the horn, conception, self confidence, travel, good news, being inspired, creative juices, flowing, recognizing potential, courage, growth, and the use of force. The negative side is impotence, lack of direction, underemployment, distractions, anxieties, missed opportunities, self doubt, low libido, unprotected sex, delays, boredom, and creative blocks. Um, yeah. So I think new opportunities is what's standing out to me the most, moving forward and moving forward with intensity and going toward something that you're dreaming of. Your personal power is being um, highlighted here, right? Self-confidence, power, moving forward, getting things moving, and really just doing it. Pile number 3. So I said that I wasn't gonna interpret it too much, but that seemed really clear. Moving forward and getting to the other side and doing it in a way that is playful and fun and passionate and really letting that side of you come on out. Okay. So I hope that that was helpful, pile number 3. I hope that that made sense. I think it did. It's either, this is one of those things where it's either for you or it's not. So I hope that helped. Thank you for joining me and good luck. Okay. Next up is the Seashell, pile number 4. Thank you for joining me. If you chose the Seashell, if you did not hear the beginning of this reading, I'm using the Hoodoo Tarot Deck for root workers. I'm not a root worker, but I used this deck yesterday and I got some really good insight and it's really clear. And I just figure if I'm looking for clarity, maybe the collective is looking for clarity on something as well. So you can think of something that you've been wondering about and trying to just understand more. And I'm going to read, the way I usually do readings is I read the cards, but this time I'm going to read it specifically directly from the book. So you're going to be listening for words, ideas, thoughts, whatever comes up is going to be your message and your clarity on the situation. And if I feel like I should do like a little bit more interpreting, then I will. But I really want you to listen to your intuition and to listen to the messages from the book. These are directly from your ancestors and your spirit team. That is my intention. And I'm ringing this bell to clear the energy and to call in our divine ancestors and spirit teams and spirit guides for messages of truth and clarity. What came out just now was the Big Mama card, which is the sun. So maybe that's a good omen for something. But these cards are they're so detailed and specific, and they kind of hit the nail on the head for me in so many ways. So for some reason, I'm thinking you can even think of someone that you want to get a specific ancestor that maybe you want to get a message from, but I'm not going to go too far with that. I just thought that might be something that came up, grandparents or something. But okay, messages for whoever chose the Seashell. Seashells are from the water, so you could be a water sign, you could be emotional, you could be a question that has to do with water or travel. I think I got that from either a friend bought that from from Savannah, Georgia. You chose that shell. I think it's from Savannah, Georgia. I think. Yeah. All right, so what does pile number 4, the seashell pile, need to know? What do they need clarity on? Let's give them some clarity, please. Pile 4. Did I cut the deck already? Oh, I'm gonna cut it anyway. Again. Okay. Okay. 6 of Sticks, which is 6 of Wands, pile 4. I'm going to read this. I'm going to read directly from the deck. All right. 6 of Sticks. Please listen for anything that might stick out to you. The plant is goat's rue. Goat like Goats and then rue, R-U-E. The image is Nat Love, birth 1854, death 1921. One of the greatest cowboys of all time is seen riding into town as the people cheer. Nat Love, right? According to Love's autobiography, he was badly wounded when he was taken captive by Pima Indians, who eventually nursed him back to health using herbs. The Pimas adopted him as a member of their tribe, and he escaped captivity on a horse named Yellow Dog Chief. The symbol on Yellow Dog Chief depicted here is called Aitoi. So I'm going to spell it I-I-T-O-I, and represents the Pima Indians. So, yeah, that's interesting. He escaped captivity is what they said. And, so they adopted him as a member of the tribe and then he escaped, which is interesting. Okay. The positive meaning is victory, getting promoted, overcoming hardship, receiving compliments, great news, recognition, having high self-esteem, becoming a VIP, feeling encouraged, being sought out for your expertise, and being a recognized hero. The negative side is flatterers, frenemies, being pompous, condescending comments, a fall from grace, loss of respect, excessive pride, groupies, needing constant validation from others, humiliating defeats, people who are desperate for attention, and epic fails. So the thing that's standing out to me with this pile number 4 is pride and victory, being able to escape, bravery, overcoming something, being able to overcome something. I'm going to pull one more card to clarify this, and hopefully this will give you some clarity on your situation, right? But it looks like you will overcome whatever hardship. If you're in a situation that is difficult, feel like you're being held captive or anything, you will be victorious. It's not funny, it's just, I'm just throwing a little humor around. Okay. Let's see, what does pile number 4 need to know? Clarity for the 6 of Sticks. 6s are about overcoming challenge, right? 8 of Knives. I know what this card is about. I got this yesterday, which is the 8 of Swords. And this is someone that's at a crossroads. Okay, I'm going to read that. The plant is star anise, which is like, reminds me of cinnamon. If you don't know what star anise is, it reminds me of cinnamon, licorice, or something like that. A man stands in the middle of the crossroads with 2 knives stuck in the ground at the entrance of each pathway. Crossroads are considered powerful places where the physical and spiritual world meets. That is interesting. That is good information. Again, that is the physical and spiritual world meet. So you may feel like you're at a crossroads somewhere, and you want to take the you want to get, obviously you want to be victorious and choose the right path. But I think of the idea of spiritual and physical worlds meet, you could be trying to balance out spiritual and physical, and that makes a lot of sense. The positive side of this card is believing in yourself again, Six of Wands, empowered thinking, the removal of obstacles, escape from the bondage. Oh my gosh, this card was about escaping from bondage. Wow. Acquittal, being productive, a much needed release, ceasing to be your own worst enemy, liberating yourself from a victim mentality, renewed hope, and finding a way out of a predicament. I can't help but like interpret this. And this means that this is about either being victorious with whatever it is that you're trying to escape. It could be something that you're in your head about. But also, this is this is saying you're going to be victorious, but it's also saying like liberate yourself. It's asking you to liberate yourself. Um, renewed hope and finding a way out of a predicament. Wow. The negative is feeling oppressed, self-hate, feeling unable to move, problems communicating with others, being bound by circumstances, a lot of being bound, a lot of like held back, remote bondage, a lot about oppression, being held back. There's another, I think pile number 2 had some interesting stuff about being held back and sticking up for yourself. So you maybe pile 2 is a good pile to listen to, or maybe you were drawn to it. That might have some information there. Being bound by circumstances, feeling like others are putting you in a box, fear of the unknown, self-limiting beliefs, suppressed history, holding yourself back, people with negative vibes, and masochists. That's what this card is. The Eight of Swords or the Eight of Knives traditionally is holding yourself back in your mind. And so pile 2 was very similar. It had more to do with like not allowing yourself to be defeated or oppressed any longer, right? And so both of these are talking about that as well. This card really sticks out to me with the crossroads between spiritual and physical, and maybe you want to integrate them if you're trying to integrate them and you want to know if you'll be successful doing that. Um, you will be successful with that, integrating it, whether it be like one situation or many, because this is supposed to give you clarity actually about your situation. So I'm going to stop there. I feel like there's a lot of information in these 2 cards alone about moving away from something and into something new, and maybe better, um, self-imposed doubt and victory, believing in yourself and having confidence. Um, and I think that's it. That makes sense to me. I hope that makes sense to you. Thank you for joining me, pile number 4. And I will see you next time. All right. Okay. Last pile is the quarter. If you chose the quarter, then this is your reading. Thank you for joining me. If you didn't listen to the beginning, I'm using the Hoodoo Tarot Deck. I usually read the cards a different way, but this deck I was hesitant to use. I feel like the messages are so powerful. The interpretation, my interpretation can be helpful, but I'm going to read the cards I'm going to read from the deck itself. And I would like for you to listen for any messages that you might be hearing. Words, thoughts, things that come up. Most of the cards give you an herb or a plant for some kind of healing. I'm not a doctor. I'm just reading it because it may stick out to you about something that you want to know. And it has a positive and negative side of each card. And they come with a story about either a hoodoo practitioner or the time period that hoodoo was really, really prevalently used in the origins. I think that makes sense. So I'm going to read, and I hope that this makes sense. If you chose the quarter, maybe your question's about money. Maybe not, doesn't matter. Whatever you chose it for a reason. And I'm just going to choose one card. I'm going to read it, and I may choose a clarifier. And I hope that this message resonates and it helps. And I'm going to ring the bell, clearing the energy, calling on our spirit guides, angels, ancestors, spirit team. This is our ancestor messages, right? What does pile number 5 need to know? So think of something you want to know. Or if you hear something, you may not have any questions specifically, and it may just like come up. Something may just come up that you hear. This item wanted to come out, the High Priestess. I used this deck yesterday, and I got a message, and I was like, whoa. So I thought that this may be, and I'm looking for clarity on a lot of things. So I'm hoping that if you're looking for clarity, you want a message, then this is what we do. All right. Pile number 5. One card, pile number 5. Okay. Son of Sticks, which is the Knight of Sticks, Knight of Wands. In the traditional tarot, if you know it. If you don't know it, don't worry about it. We're going to read from the deck. Son of Sticks is a person, but let's read and see what messages they have for you. Okay. The plant for Son of Sticks is burdock. The Son of Sticks shows off his 6-fingered left hand as he triumphantly holds up a stick with his right one. He is not ashamed of being polydactyl. In fact, he's proud of it. Polydactylism, dark Mongolian spots, webbed fingers and toes, and being born with the cowl, C-A-U-L, over one's face were the physical signs that indicated a natural talent for root working. So you could be a root worker. Oh my gosh. Very cool. I'm just going to read it. I'm sorry. I got excited. I also want to just say that this could be, you could be someone that's considering your spiritual gifts. That's what this card means to me, but okay. The Son of Sticks' ability to do highly effective crosswork, which are hexes, is evident by the fact that the extra digit on his left hand, that left hand has long been associated with deeper mysteries, the devil or black magic, depending on who you ask. The salamander and red pygmy rattlesnake symbolize the sun's power. So the salamander. So this is saying you might be really, really powerful, right? Or you might have some kind of different look about you on your body, and that could be your power. So this is asking you not to be ashamed of something about you that is unique and different. That's primary, because it's very powerful. You or whoever it is you're thinking about or asking about. But okay. The meaning is the Son of Sticks represents youthful vigor. On the positive side, he's loyal, idealistic, creative, enthusiastic, solution-based, fearless, independent, and he loves to learn. On the negative side, he is unreliable, he's pushy, he's indecisive, he's confused, selfish, lazy, or a real downer who always prefers to discuss and emphasize anything unpleasant. In a reading, if he doesn't represent a person with these qualities, he represents these attributes. Interesting. This could be you or someone you know. That's self-explanatory. I am going to... actually, I'm just going to say you could have some gifts and you're trying to figure out if the gifts are going to make you money. That's just a message for somebody. All right, one more card for pile number 5 to clarify the Son of Sticks. The Gullah Man. Whoa. That's the Hangman. I feel like I want to tell you exactly what I'm thinking, but I'm gonna read this to you and then I'll tell you what I'm thinking because my intention was not to give my own interpretation, but I can't help it. This is a major arcana, the Hangman. All right, so this particular, for major arcanas, they give a Bible verse. The heart of man plans his way, but the Lord establishes his steps. Proverbs 16:9. The plant is hemp. The image, this is pretty long, so bear with me, but I feel like they resonate when you read this. It kind of gives you a lot of information. So anything you hear in this pile number 5, uh, take heed. Gullah Jack has a noose around his neck, but his face is serene. He has a Congo cosmogram as his third eye. Gullah Jack, he doesn't have a birth date, but his death was 1822, was a Bakongo prisoner of war who was sold into slavery in Zanzibar. He was eventually sent to Charleston, South Carolina, and purchased by a man named Paul Pritchard. Gullah Jack had a reputation as a powerful root worker with a particular talent for making protective amulets. I have to stop for a second because this little boy in the Son of Sticks has power, and then this is the man that has power. So, I don't know. This may have been one of the reasons that Telemaque, Tlmaque, aka Denmark Vesey, recruited him to plan a revolt consisting of only African-born men against the colonists. Gullah Jack instructed the rebels to eat a special diet of corn and peanuts the day of the attack and provided them with crab claws as a talisman to keep them safe. He also threatened to put the root on any other slaves who spoke of the plan. Unfortunately for the rebels, the plan was betrayed and the revolt was suppressed. All of the plotters, including Gullah Jack, were sentenced to death, but not before Gullah Jack used mysterious hand gestures, presumably to curse all of their oppressors. Gullah Jack was hanged on July 2nd, 1822. Just going to pause for a second because there's a lot of information there. They're talking about having corn and peanuts for the day of the attack, crab claws for talisman, protective amulet. I mean, there's so much in here that I'm just like floored. And this is the Hangman, and this is about root work, and this is about protection, and this is about standing up for yourself, and this is about um, the plan. I'm going to continue to read. There's a meaning here. It says, when Gullah Jack appears in a reading, you are most likely feeling stuck or severely limited. This card asks that you endure any discomfort, pain, or humiliation nobly until it's time to get moving again. In the meantime, there's nothing you can do except be patient. This would be an excellent time to take up a course of study, to practice meditation, to read philosophy, and pray. Ask for the wisdom to know what to do and how to get it done once your life is no longer on pause. Whatever you do, do not try to resist or force things to proceed prematurely. This card is a reminder to be man or woman enough to accept any consequences of your actions. If the current stalemate is the direct result of your own ignorance or bad choices, then tough shit. That's what it says in the book. I'm sorry about that noise of motorcycle passed. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. You'll be free once the necessary lessons have been learned. Gullah Jack could also be trying to tell you that sometimes the sacrifice of your own desires for the good of the whole is the right thing to do. If you receive Gullah Jack in a reading, consider the following. Wait! Exclamation point. Pause and reflect. It's okay to be vulnerable sometimes. Accept it. This is just the way that it has to be for now. What will it take for you to just let it go? It's okay to change your mind. if the sacrifice is worth it, then what are you waiting for? And lastly, now it's time to put the needs of others first, okay? Okay. I don't have anything else to say about that, um, because I feel like both of those cards were extremely clear. Pile number 5, I hope that that helped. You can rewind this back and listen to that again because there may be some really potent messages in there for you, about your situation, or someone else. My intention was that that is exactly what you got from this. So good luck, and I really, really hope that this made sense. It did make sense. I'm actually putting that out there that this makes sense. You can choose a pile, you can choose many piles, or you can send this to someone because maybe they've got a message there, but there's definitely some messages in here for someone. So thank you for joining me, and I hope this helps. Take care.